We have new MMOs releasing. We have new MMOs entering into test phases. We have juicy drama. Hey, my name is Six and welcome back to your monthly bite of MMORPG news video series where I pretty much go over everything that happened in the MMO genre over the course of the last month that mattered to me in one easy to digest format. Yo, I have a brand new gacha review channel just titled Sticks Reviews. You should definitely subscribe to that. I'm going to be reviewing gacha games new and old. We have an awesome Discord community you guys should totally consider joining. Absolutely no tribalism is tolerated. We have a Twitter community that you guys should join. We also have a Reddit community that you guys should join. We have a lot to talk about, so let's just go ahead and jump right in. I've mentioned in the past that both Kudo Games and HOYOverse, two of the biggest gacha game developers in the world right now, were simultaneously working on brand new MMORPGs. HOYOverse seems to be pulling a little bit ahead here. The mystery Unreal Engine 5 MMORPG Nodusfall services a new trademark filling alongside Visago. The Nodusfall trademark, filed April 29, 2026 by Cognosphere, gives the project a more concrete identity, even though nothing is officially confirmed yet. Around the same time, HOYOverse also quietly set up social media accounts on Twitter and Bilibili under the same name. Then there's Visago. The trademark is registered under the same Anutacon entity founded by Dai Haoyu, the CEO of HOYOverse. This is very big because this is arguably going to be the largest budget MMORPG release of the decade, whether you like gacha games or not. Webzen has filed an injunction against Hound 13 to stop them from self-publishing Dragon Sword, or now Dragon Sword Awakening, which is absolutely asinine. I did a dedicated video going over this, but essentially what happened was Webzen was withholding revenue and Hound 13 wanted that revenue. They didn't receive the revenue in a sufficient time frame, so they canceled their publishing agreement and decided they're going to overhaul the game, turn it into a single player RPG with online functionality, AAA budget, no gacha, no autoplay, no mobile aspect, a full release onto Steam. And then Webzen decided later that was not acceptable, even though they went under a brand new IP, Dragon Sword Awakening. Yep. If you want a better understanding of what happened, then go watch my video on the situation. Nexus and Valove have launched a mobile MMORPG, Chaos W. I don't think this is even a cross-platform MMO at this point. Apparently, it's doing very well, though. Well, I mean, 10,000 downloads means that it's not doing very well. But, you know, it's been rated very well. I don't think it looks very good, though, from what I've seen. Graphically, it looks like a very old MMO, which I don't think is really going to appeal to that many PC players. ODIN Valhalla Rising, which is a cross-platform MMO, is holding their very first anniversary update. This comes with so freaking much. I did a dedicated video on the anniversary. They also had me on over for a live stream, like an entire live stream showcase, which was really, really cool. This is one of the few cross-platform MMOs that I've actually never done a negative video on, because I actually, for a mobile MMO, don't think it's bad. Like, it's very pay to win, but I don't think for a mobile MMO that it's bad. Graphically, it's probably one of the best out there. Second, probably to Blue Protocol Star Resonance. Loftia just entered into their global playtest. Mrs. 6 and I played several hours of it. I actually got kind of bored and I quit, but that's just because, and that isn't to say that the game is bad. It was more just that it wasn't my style of game. I got bored because I'm apparently not a fan of cozy games. I want to get out there. I want to PvP people. I want to, you know, fight raid bosses and everything, level up and gear. TERA 2 has finally begun the recruitment process, as in recruitment for developers to begin developing the game, which is good. This is good because that means that they are now ready to begin crafting the game, but at the same time, that means that the game has not begun the development process yet, even though my last video on this was like half a year to a year ago, which then also means the game is probably a ways off from being ready. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. Excel Games is developing a spiritual successor to ArcheAge, aiming for release in the second or third quarter of 2027. This is different to ArcheAge Chronicles. This was titled or codenamed Project X7. This is a PC MMORPG, so for those of you that don't know, and I also have a dedicated video on this, but for those of you that don't know, ArcheAge Chronicles is a single-player RPG with multiplayer online functionality, but not an MMORPG. Far from being an MMORPG. It also has a very PvE focus. This game, this MMO, is going to have competitive PvP content and be much more MMO and much more PvP focused. So it's going to be a very big difference. My main issue here was that meant that they were going to be developing two different ArcheAge games like concurrently, and that means that a split team could reduce the overall quality or the overall content cadence if the teams aren't large enough respectively. Embers of the Uncrowned, I also did a video on this, but announced that not only can you wishlist it over on Steam, not only are they holding a Steam demo sometime, I believe it was either June or July, but it is an actual game. Like, it's an actual genuine MMO that nobody saw coming. This game looks very much so like Project TL, or what Throne and Liberty was supposed to look like before they decided to change into Throne and Liberty. And my God, does it look cool. Looks like more of a spiritual successor, I think, to Lost Ark than anything else. And dude, that is fantastic. Epitome is an immersive MMORPG with AI-powered NPCs. I'm not sure what to think of that because I don't like AI in my video games, but that's more along the lines of not liking generative AI in my video games. I'm actually okay with AI-powered NPCs because that means you can talk to them. That means that they have more life to them than your average NPC that just kind of stands there and has one line, or has no lines whatsoever and just exists for no purpose. Aion 2 is officially coming to Steam globally in 2026 as a PC native release. This means no mobile crossplay functionality at all, which is actually fantastic. But at the same time, because they do note here that there are multiple changes happening to the game, but I wonder, with the changes made between the global version and the Korean version, how it's going to be received. It says here that there's no auto combat, although I was told in a comment, I believe, that there was no auto or is no auto combat in Aion 2 anyway, so I'm not entirely sure where they're getting that from, unless there is a form of auto combat present, and I'm just not sure. I don't know. I didn't play the Korean version because I was waiting for global. TemTem Pioneers has already raised 400, and it's still increasing, $440,000. That is absolutely incredible. I really enjoyed TemTem. I know that not everyone did. I know some people have a bit of an issue with TemTem and the developers, but I really enjoyed playing it co-op with my wife, Mrs. Sticks, and I'm also very curious to see what they do with this too, because an open world survival crafting POW world, but with TemTem instead, could be really freaking cool, especially because POW World is one of my favorite video games ever. Scars of Honor is officially holding a playtest right now. It runs from April 30th to May 11th. It looks like the game has 1,000 concurrent player peak, which honestly isn't bad. That's actually pretty solid. It is down to 500 or 489 as of writing right now, or recording right now rather, but I'm curious to see how this is ultimately perceived as well. Honor of Kings World released in China several weeks ago, but they are planning a global beta or alpha or global test phase very, very soon. I cannot wait to be able to play this. I think all of you should be very excited because this is going to be the next Where Winds Meet. And I got to play this at Gamescom live in front of thousands of people, and I can't wait to play more. And finally, Drakantos is holding a closed beta test. There are numerous things that are going to be testing. I'm excited for it because I honestly liked the look of Drakantos. I've done a dedicated video on it in the past. I've actually talked via Twitter and Discord DMs to some of the core staff members. So I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes and how they ultimately develop it, how the beta test is perceived, and then when they inevitably choose to release, because like this has to release soon, man. It's still listed as coming soon. Why is it taking so long? And that is everything thing that happened in the MMORPG genre over the course of the last month that I was aware of that really mattered to me and that I kept up to date with. So you guys are welcome. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.